Hello and welcome to Family Jewels. I'm Charlie Dinkin and this is...
Your best friend, Olga Koch. Today we are joined by the multi-hyphenate, the writer, the actor, the comedian, the one and only, straight from Texas, it's...
Kemah Bob.
A dimmer and air horns. Thank you for having me. Thank you for recognizing my hyphens.
Do you have an opinion on this? I don't even know why I'm saying this. It's like really not my topic, but the Beyonce country album. People are mad.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's so bold and fun. I think we should all have like the freedom and power as artists to do whatever the fuck we want.
I agree.
And I think it's so sick. Like, I wonder what's next. You know what I mean?
I'm doing a techno track, yeah.
Yeah, sick.
I think we could do whatever
Rightfully
we want.
so. We should be able to.
I see you doing techno. I see you doing country.
Yeah.
But I mean, she is from Houston, and she's got the vocals, she's got the background.
Dolly
she's
Parton
amazing.
said she liked it.
But I mean,
Yeah,
she
great.
came out with a country track. She came out with Daddy Lessons a few years
Yeah.
ago, and that was incredible.
That's true.
She did it with the Chicks as a duet. That was awesome.
I think people need to chill the fuck out, mostly, and stop trying to tell people what they can and cannot be.
I agree.
Wow.
Bold words there. Quote her.
Really powerful.
Thank
Sorry,
you. Someone
that
had to
came from
say
my heart. Sorry, I guess I'm kind of profound.
Clip it.
You're
Post
already
it online.
the first thing you say. It's already a bumper sticker. It's
Yeah.
already.
Guys,
I
I just
mean-
came here to live. I came here to laugh. And I came here to love. I'm going to do all of them.
Do you feel like you have a spiritual connection to Texas?
No. I think Texas is a weird place because, like, I think there's a lot of like ideologies like that a lot of people have, a lot of like conservative Texans have. But I think people also have like a wild image of what Texas is. It's just like a man on a horse stopping someone from getting an abortion with a gun.
Yeah,
you know?
sounds about right.
And like
Except
it's-
Austin, which I hear is
yeah.
cool.
But it's so big. It's
Yeah.
just like
It's also mostly non-white, isn't it?
it's a huge state. There's a large like Latino population. Houston is apparently like one of the most diverse cities in America, which is interesting. But yeah, there's loads of stuff going on in Texas. I think it's sometimes like the loudest voice is what people recognize.
Yeah.
And like oftentimes the loudest voice, and you guys will know this from like online comments, like
Yeah.
the loudest voices are like the most hateful.
And
Yeah.
they're completely not representative of the
Of the
majority
whole
at all.
thing, yeah. It's just a giant state, so, full of chill people. When people think of Texas, like I want them to think of like Beyonce and like Megan Thee Stallion, just like chill girls who like to have fun and go
Yeah.
ah. And you know what? I'll say it. I want them to think of me.
So
Yeah.
you do have a spiritual connection to Texas, just a different Texas.
Yeah, just like I like the food. That's mostly it. I like the food. I like that Beyonce is also from there.
Yeah,
Those are the main vibes.
The weather
to be honest.
isn't bad.
It's not bad. Although we did get like hurricanes, which I think is quite like those suck ass. Those literally suck ass. They suck anything. They're hurricanes.
Can I permission to ask the dumbest question in the
Please.
world?
Go for it.
Why don't we hear about hurricanes in Europe? Is that we just don't have them here?
I think down there, it's just like what the weather is doing. Like tropical storms. It's because it's not tropical up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like
makes sense.
destroying things, tropical
Yeah.
storms.
They're like rain tornadoes.
Like Twister, the movie.
yeah.
But
Okay.
with rain.
Oh, God.
So it like
So it's like a vortex of rain?
floods. Yeah.
Yeah, it would like flood your whole house. It would like destroy the ground floor and the basement of your house because it would be like
Yeah.
storm surge. Is like it floods by like feet and feet of water.
I guess they can go really high.
Like biblical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would fuck up your shit.
Have you ever been in the middle of one?
Not in in a bad one, but there have been ones where like they've come through Houston. I remember one time there was a hurricane. I don't know which one. Been so many in my lifetime. I'm so brave. But it knocked out like the power and the water, and so you need to have like a generator. You need to have a power generator, and I think they run on like gas or something. And we didn't have one, but my friend Taylor had one, and so I left my mom at home in the dark alone and went to my friend Taylor's house to charge my phone. And my mom wasn't even mad about it. She's a nice lady.
I
Like,
think
you needed your phone.
it's the ending of that sentence that got me.
Because when I think about it as an adult, I'm like, what a little cunt. I was like, fuck you, Mom. I'm going to Taylor's. She was chill about it. But, like, when the, like, power goes out and stuff, you know, you gotta, like your, like, food will go off.
Right.
You know, like.
So you have to eat the ice cream now.
You gotta eat the ice cream.
You have to put a penny in a. Do you know about that? You freeze a glass. You put it like you freeze water in a cup. You put it in your freezer with a penny on top of it.
Ooh.
Then, if there's been any kind of storm or you think the power is cut out, you look at the cup because if it melted a bit and then it refroze, the penny will not be on the top of the cup anymore.
Interesting.
That's a tip I learned from TikTok.
That's very sick. Wow, that website is really, that app is great. That's so useful. Fuck, I wonder what else is on there. What else is in there? Yeah. But yeah, I think that's, you know, everybody's got to experience a hurricane at least once.
That's what I say.
It's one of those things, one of those life experiences. You got to have sex. You got to experience a hurricane.
Sometimes at the same time and sometimes not.
Yeah, everything's
Preferably.
getting wet.
So you've mentioned you have a mother.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to pivot
Famously,
to what this podcast is about.
Famously.
Would you like to walk us through your immediate family
Yeah.
as the cast of characters of the sitcom of your life?
Great. So there's two sides of things, right? There's my mom's side, there's my dad's side. Classic family style.
If you want to cast them as actors that we would know, that would also be very helpful.
My mom is kind of like a Tiffany Haddish, but less problematic.
Love.
So fun. She's a lovely lady. And then there's my Nana, who, like, I don't know if you know Jennifer Lewis, but she's a hoot. She's a hoot and a half.
So do you think you get your sense of humor from the women in your family?
I think I get my my openness and my, like, inappropriateness from the women in my family for sure.
But you're funnier is what I'm hearing.
They would agree. Yeah, but, like, for instance, I was talking to my Nana, and she, like, went to church, and she was like, yeah, they had a new saxophonist in the church, and she was like, he was playing that thing so good, it'll make you cream your jeans.
No!
Yeah.
Yeah, Nana likes the sax, and I agree.
I was
the
like,
sax
what?
Is sexy.
Cream your jeans? And she said it like it was a thing her and her friends used to say back in the day or something. They're just creaming their jeans. Cream your jeans?
Honestly,
What?
the more we record this podcast, the more I realize that the older generation is so much hornier than,
Yeah.
than we could ever
Horny.
possibly
Yeah.
imagine. We just don't think of them as sexual, but they're horny.
It's so cool. I was talking to my Nana the other day. I was like, oh, yeah, I started dating someone. And she was like, so? She was like, big shoes? Big hand? I was like, yeah, it's a big dick, Nana. Yeah. I was like, but it's a good-sized dick, Nana. Yeah.
What a roundabout way to ask.
I know.
You buying them magnums?
Yeah, but what is condom saying? Yeah, so
Is it a
that's fun.
specialty order? Is it a...
Huh? Not that big, Nana. Not that big.
If you're doing a
unfortunately.
plasticine mold to make a plastic replica, would you be ordering the extra large pack?
When it comes to fish, sturgeon?
I'm dead. Big goldfish, big fish,
She
small
wants
fish.
to know. That's
Yeah.
good. If you can't live vicariously through your
It matters.
grandchildren.
But, like, on the other side, like, so on that side, and then there's my aunt. She's great. And
That side, mum, nana, aunt.
yeah, and
Women.
Like, yeah, my aunt has, like, a husband. My nana's husband died. Which it happens sometimes to old men. Not the women.
Never.
Not in my
Never the
family.
women.
Yeah, immortal. And my little cousin, who's so fun, and everyone on that side is quite into like mental health in some way. So, like, my mom's like a therapist now. My aunt is like a counselor.
Cool.
My nana is crazy.
Repping all sides.
Well, your Nana's going to church, so she's kind of
Yeah.
addressing her inner demons
She's
somehow.
having a great time. And my little cousin is like studying like psychology and what is it? Sociology, some shit like that. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, great. He's ologies. And then
Gotta get those ologies.
you need the
Gotta have an
ologies.
ology.
You need the ologies. or else you can become a path, right? It's better to have an ology than a path. A psychology rather than a psychopath. Sociology rather than a sociopath.
Get
Oh
it
my
on
God.
a bumper
Yeah,
sticker.
yeah.
You're freaking blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
It's like realize.
Realize, yeah. Analyze. Anal eyes. My eyes are anal. I got anal eyes. I can only see anal. And then, like, on my dad's side, I don't even know, like, how to describe my dad. He's, like, very fun, but also stoic. Like, it's so weird. It's like his emotions come out when he's, like, partying, when he's being the life of the party. He loves to be the life of the party.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's like, yeah. He's very charismatic with, like, strangers, very good with a stranger. Sometimes I watch him with a stranger and I'm like, wow, look at you, Mr. I talk to everybody.
But then when it comes to close ones, does he shut off?
It's more so, like, I feel like he has a bit less to say. And, like, yeah.
He's saving it. He's got to save his. He's got to
Yeah.
recharge his social
for
battery.
the outside world.
Yeah.
But there is a type of person who's amazing on the surface. And so to a stranger, that
Yeah.
would be really delightful.
I think it's an interesting thing about, like, wanting like other people to like you and vibe with you and not giving a shit about the people that love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
we
came
all
here to
know
drop those
exactly.
jewels.
Yeah.
Family jewels.
They are jewels.
But we all know that kind of person.
I think so many
1000%.
people like that. Everyone's someone in their family like that. Whenever people tell my mum how nice my grandma is, we're all just like,
She's like, what?
What?
Yeah.
I think you met a different
Okay.
lady.
All right. Yeah, and my grandma on that side, she's like quite Catholic. Really, she doesn't like to hear cussing. She doesn't like to
Grow
hear
up.
cussing, which is tough because I can barely send her into my comedy class. she has no idea what I do for work. And it's like when she hears like cursing, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like it physically pains her. But every now and then she'll be like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, whoa!
But when she says it, she really means it.
Yeah, but it's like rare and I love it. I love when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, grandma.
She's saving it for when it means
Yeah,
something.
for
I
when-
actually do respect that.
When you earn it, you gotta earn it.
Does she
Yeah.
have fun replacements for words? Like, would she say, like, I don't know.
She doesn't. I know what you mean. Like,
Frickin'?
oh, fudge.
Yeah, fudge.
No, she doesn't. It's really interesting. It's a very hypocritical vibes. But yeah, she's very lovely. And I think one thing I appreciate about like both of my grandmas, one of them is more open than the other, but
We can guess which one.
yeah. The one who's asking about the shoes. But they both like every now and then will just tell me a bit of like their history and like the family history, and I really appreciate that and I love it. And I feel like on my dad's side, I don't think my grandma like really shares that stuff with many people. Yeah, and I think it's super cute. I
That's
like
very
being
sweet.
that for them.
Yeah.
You know? And I also like knowing, because I'll like talk to my aunt about something and she'll be like, really? I didn't know that. And I'm like, wow, you should probably chat to your mom.
Wow, you're the person listening.
Yeah, I'm
Saving
that
it up
guy.
in here.
I'm that guy. I love my grandmas. They're so cool. They're cool ladies.
Is there anything you can share with us about that they've shared with you about your family history?
Oh.
What nuggets have excited you?
It's so interesting. Well, not even exciting, but just kind of like, so on my dad's side, my dad is from Louisiana, which is its own thing. And my grandma's dad was apparently like, he was like a blacksmith. He had all these skills. She was born in 1940. And so he was born before that. And he's a blacksmith, and I think he like would fix like the wagon wheels in the town.
Ooh,
And
important.
like he had like skills that like other people didn't have. And she was very proud of that when she told me. She was
is cool.
very proud of it. And apparently one day one of her brothers like kicked a white man's horse, and then the white man I think tried to like spank the brother or something like that. And so he went home and told the dad, and then the dad went to the guy and told him not to do that. And then later a like mob showed up to their house and like I think like tried to take the dad away.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it's like that kind of history is like not that far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Removed.
Oh my God.
And I think it was like quite scary for my grandma. And I can't remember. I don't know if they like beat him up or what. But he did like live, which the bar is so low. He was alive. He was alive at the end of the White Mob. But it's just really interesting because you can be like skilled and etc. But he like dared to like be brave and to push back and to go, you can't like just do what you want to my family. You can't do what you want to my kids. I was like punished for that. And I find that to be quite interesting. And just to know that like my grandma lives with that kind of like trauma and stuff.
And she's and in a modern world.
Yeah.
It's crazy to straddle that generation to be the person who can like remember and lived in, not even just like I remember it from but it's like, oh, my whole life up to some point was this. And then like knows you and like you live a different type of life that probably feels quite far away from where he was. And
it's so interesting. Yeah. And I think I love to hear about that stuff because I guess it just like it's quite grounding, I guess. Yeah. Fun facts about life.
Big stories. That's like a heavy piece of history. And then like when it's made very personal to you. Yeah, I always try and think like when my grandparents said, and when people just say things that are like their traumas from their childhood or their youth, it's like
holy shit, you've lived a whole life. You have experiences that like I can't really imagine, and like look at what you've done like with yourself, even though you know. Yeah. And like my grandpa on that side, he was a musician. He was a swamp pop legend.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what's swamp pop?
It is a genre of music that existed in a certain place during a certain time.
Into what?
Wait, it's like Louisiana swamps?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the genre probably is like Louisiana, maybe like the other like southern states around, but it was very much a like 50s, 60s type thing. Yeah. And
have you heard some?
Yeah, he's on Spotify.
Oh my gosh, stop.
That's so sick. Wait, what's his name? Are we allowed to?
It's Lil Bob and the Lollipops was his
Fuck
band.
yeah.
Lil Bob and the Lollipops. And he has some love songs, he has some like party songs, and one of his songs is called I Got Loaded. And
were the Lollipops men or women? Men.
The Lollipops were men. That was his band. And like people cover his songs. Like I think like a few years ago, like I saw that someone had made like quite a new cover of like.
That's like wait. So what's that swamp pop sound? Is it because like the instruments are the humidity has altered the instruments?
It's interesting because I think it's kind of like, it's like, can be bluesy but like quite upbeat depending. Yeah, it's really interesting. I was listening to some of it, and it reminded me. It wasn't like Little Richard, but I think kind of like a
Charlie XCX.
Yeah, it was definitely Charlie. it was kind of giving Gaga. It was like a little like Ray Charlesy.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's sick.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Did he have a
to
good
hear.
voice?
Yeah, it was quite nice.
That's cool.
I was like, okay, turn up.
That should be your walk-on music in Edinburgh, right? Come on.
Wait, so
I
that's
got
your grandpa?
Yeah, on my dad's side, and
Yeah, that's so recent.
yeah,
You didn't even have to go far.
I asked my grandma how she met him. This is so fucked. I feel like there's so many stories from like this generation like that. I was like, how did you meet him? And she goes, I was walking to school.
Wait, but how old was he?
Exactly. He wasn't in fucking school.
Was he like in a car?
He wasn't also in school. Like, do you know what I mean?
Was he already a little bit successful?
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know, I think he was playing, but I don't know if he was like successful at the time. But whenever they got divorced, her sisters were like, "Well, ain't nobody told you to marry a musician."
It's true. But
Don't marry a musician.
Some advice is timeless.
Yeah,
I know that I'm about to do the most basic take of all, but you're talking about these men. It's like, oh, this one could play these instruments. This other man could fix wagon wheels. And it's like, There's
do they
all soft
like?
skills.
Yeah.
All soft skills. Like with our generation,
do
it would
they
be like,
do?
he was really good at online marketing. Fuck off.
Hell yeah.
My granddad, fuck off.
Hell yeah. They'd be like, oh, he's a great data analyst. The way that he would analyze that data is wild.
Yeah, no hard skills anymore. Although I have a lot of friends who have boyfriends who are carpenters now. I would say an above average, unless loads of dudes are carpenters and I just didn't know. I think I have 4 friends whose partners are carpenters.
It's good to know that you're so grounded.
You're of the people.
Anytime I need a thing made out of wood, I do know who to call.
That's
the thing about me.
Yeah.
Well, I know who to call when I need a spreadsheet pivot tables or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck they do.
Well done. I'm very proud. I'm glad.
Wait, so is your mum recently a therapist or she was a therapist?
Yeah, so she was a chemist initially. So she studied not like pharmacist chemist, but like scientist.
Like industrial
I always
chemistry?
have to say, like in here, in this country, I'm like she wasn't a pharmacist.
She did chemistry.
Yeah, she studied chemistry, and she used to work in like labs and stuff. And then she taught chemistry, and then she started working in oil and gas to pay for my tuition. She went evil, and then she said, "I can't do this anymore."
That is education
I
in
can't
America.
be
You really
evil."
do have to go evil hard.
Yeah, to get some money. And she got a counseling degree like quite a long time ago, but never put it to use because she was like, money is cool. But then she ended up being like, actually, I do want to like do that. And I think she's pretty good at it. She's having a lovely time. She's like building her practice, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm very proud of her because
That
I
sounds
think
amazing.
like I think my family, especially like the women on my mom's side of the family, are very like caring, nurturing givers, want to like help like humanity. And so I'm glad that she's able to do a job that feels purposeful, because I think the oil and gas stuff like did not feel like she was helping. At one point she did something that had to do with like jet like plane turbines. Like apparently they have some kind of like coating on them that I don't know. I have no idea. Something. Also, she did something else with like enzymes. All science. All very science.
I get it. It's
This
cool.
does
Brainy.
sound like chemistry.
Yeah,
Checks
yeah,
out to me.
Lady
yeah,
being brainy.
yeah.
But now she just wants to help people.
Yeah, she
I'm
wants to
always
help
in
people's
awe
brains.
of people who've like lived multiple lifetimes, where she like had a full career in chemistry and then she's like having a full career in counseling.
Hell yeah. It's a very Beyonce country album.
Yes,
You
that's
gotta
it.
do what you want.
We're all going to have to do multiple careers. That is true.
So
That's
you
true.
mentioned tuition. Can I
Oh my god.
pivot very quickly to one very specific aspect of your life? If you
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it, I respect it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure our listeners would love to hear, and you don't have to talk about this, but about your cheerleading pageantry days.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
All American girl.
I was a cheerleader for like 7 years. I did it in school and competitively. And when you do it competitively, you and your team, you work hard to put together a routine that lasts for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
And it's like acrobatics.
Yeah. And then you go around the cheer circuit and you perform and you try to win awards. And it is a huge suck. It is huge money suck. He's like,
And to what end?
it's like, oh, now I have a trophy, and also I've injured my wrist from picking up women. What the fuck?
And there's no path after that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
There's no like
You just
Olympic
become
cheerleading.
a cheer coach.
Yeah, it's like a weird cycle. Yeah.
There's no like NFL for cheerleaders. I guess there's NFL cheerleaders, but they're not doing the same shit as high school cheerleaders.
Exactly. It's
What
really interesting.
position were you on their names for the different
Yes.
parts?
Yes, I know what you're talking
I watched
about.
cheer.
I know what you're talking about. I was a side bass, sometimes a back bass.
She's
Yeah.
in the queer community. She also has the same label.
Yeah. Definitely.
You're sturdy. You're holding.
Yeah, I am a bottom.
Are you flipping?
I was flipping a little bit. Never got really good at flipping. Something about putting the legs over the head. It was very difficult. Very difficult. I was jumping. I was dancing. Occasionally flipping. Yeah.
And did
yeah.
you love it?
Oh, I had a great time. I think it's because like, I think team sports are cool. I think like doing things with other people is cool. And my aunt was a cheer coach, and she got me into it. And it was just like, moving your body. Like, I don't exercise as a person. I didn't before that. I think the most exercise I've ever done in my life was, like, being a cheerleader. And so something about moving the body, like being in community, dancing, having a lovely time, like feeling strong, like that was all
I love
pretty
that.
cool.
But also, like, then seeing what it is you're capable of as a group, like having to like hold other people up and like create this.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
build like pyramids
satisfying.
and stuff.
That's cool.
And
so
like
cool.
sometimes it's like 3 levels high, and there'll be like girls that you're holding girls, and it's like, this is crazy.
Were you all girls on your team?
Yeah,
That's sick.
Yeah, and then in like I'm trying to think if I was ever on a co-ed team. I don't think so. And then in high school, you get like the weird social benefits, like, cause you know we have like dress codes, right? And during like football season on game days, we got to wear our uniforms, and those are not in dress codes.
Like in Glee, it's like Glee.
Yeah.
That's so
exciting.
hot.
And then you're doing like pep rallies and stuff.
You just get to look sexy for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hot.
So fun. And then like, you know, you have like a homecoming and those different things. And like I was on the homecoming court.
Of course you were.
I did not win homecoming queen.
Okay.
Which is sad.
Which is your sort of trauma, the one that you're exploring in your debut
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
What's the vibe of the person who won homecoming queen?
I'm trying to remember who won homecoming queen. I can't remember. I do remember who won prom queen because I won prom princess.
Wait, what's the difference between homecoming queen, prom queen, socially, not materially, and prom princess?
Well, homecoming is in the
elected
fall.
position.
They're both elected positions. They're both popularity contests. And homecoming is in the fall. And I don't know if it can be voted by anyone in any class. I'm not sure.
But what I'm hearing is Kemah was one of the top 3 most popular girls in the school.
Thank you for hearing that because it's true. And
comedians come from all walks of life. They're not just losers.
Yeah.
Stop saying that.
People are constantly misunderstanding.
Thinking you were bullied in high school. Let's set the record straight.
I was
You
bullying.
were bullied.
No, I spread my spirit, my love across the different communities. I was in the theater.
You were canvassing. You were out there.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're going to be actually popular, if all social groups like you.
Yeah, or unless people think you're very hot. And I was kind of where there's
Why
too
have both?
much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you were the princess.
She was prom princess.
What does prom princess get?
I'm not sure if there was
Crown?
anything got on
Sash?
my head. You do get a sash. I don't think there was a crown involved. But my boyfriend got prom king, and he got a big hat.
Wait, so did he have to do a dance with the prom queen?
I think they might have. And I think her boyfriend got like the prince, which sounds worse than princess, doesn't
So you
it?
swapped. You wife
Yeah,
swapped.
we had a bit of a swap. But the thing was, the girl that won was like the sweetest girl. I love her so much. She was called Ashley, and she was
You didn't even have to tell us that. We would know.
classic Ashley. Such a good Christian girl.
Yeah.
Such a good Christian girl. Very kind, very soft. Yeah.
Good for Ashley.
Yeah. Still proud of her to this day. I was like, do you know what? Can't even be mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't even be mad. But it was great. And it's so much like, I think there's so much pageantry in those type of things. Like I went to the Mac store to get my makeup done by this guy named Shakespeare. So great. So great. I love Shakespeare. He beat my face for the gods. It was beautiful. So
You felt
great.
good? He nailed it?
Yeah. Oh, it looked great. I got a fresh weave. It was looking impeccable.
What a
It was looking so
day.
good.
What was your dress? Can you paint a picture?
Yes. So, I've always been I like nice clothes person, and my mom, I think, later was able to facilitate that, and also was but not comfortably, but she knew that these things were a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And so I went to, I don't remember what store it was, but I was looking for dresses online, and this was could have been a wedding dress. It was
it's prom in Texas,
bride.
1,000%. It was a tan dress, but it had like a kind of bandage top, but in a like very delicate material that went down to the waist, and then it like flared out. But it had these like, it wasn't like feathers, but it was like kind of feathering of the material down the big skirt. It was actually the same dress that I wore for the pageant I did in college. Because I was like, when am I going to buy more dresses like this? This dress is great.
Yeah,
how do you as a parent deal with the fact that your teenage child wants to look sexy? I think I would have a breakdown.
You gotta go Mean Girls mom.
Okay.
You know, be like, wow.
I think help them. You know what I mean? And I think the worst thing of all is to leave them to their own devices to try and do it. Because some girls can action it, but some girls can't, and you might as well just get a professional in.
Yeah. And you don't want to miss much. And I think
you know
my
what
mom,
I agree.
I think my mom, when she was like in high school and stuff, from what she told me, like she wasn't like living a like similar kind of social life to what I was experiencing, and I think she was just enjoying that. That's what I was experiencing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's really
like,
sweet.
She's like, I love that for you.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's so nice. Where'd you go to college?
Baylor University, which is a horrible place. It is a private Christian university, which means it's full of the worst people. A lot of preachers' children.
Oh, yeah.
Like that level of religious. That's where preachers feel like it's a good place to send their kids. Ooh. And I went there because it was like academically rigorous. And I felt the need, even though I was studying theater, I felt the need to be impressive with my choice of school instead of choosing a school that like actually had a good theater program.
Imagine being surrounded by girls who aren't daddy's little girl. They're like God's favorite girl.
Dad and dad's little girl.
Ashley went there as well. Yeah, Ashley went.
Where is it? Is it close to where you grew up?
It's in Waco. It's 4 hours away from Houston.
All right.
It's in its own weird little bubble. And like we had chapel. We had to go to chapel. So I think 2 semesters of your college career, I think it was just the 2. You have to go to chapel on every like Friday. And there's a guy called Chapel Ryan, and he would like play the piano and lead songs. And just a weird fucking guy.
It's actually Chapel Ryan is just the name of the position. They have different
guys. They switch him out. This is the new Chapel Ryan.
I love how American colleges just like have a little flavor. The private ones, at least, it's like each of them just have a little fucking mad.
It's like what's going on 1,000%.
Yeah, it's like my favorite part of it.
It was such a weird place to be, and there'd be times where you'd be walking to class, and you'd walk, like from place to place on campus, and someone would stop you and go, "Hey, can I pray for you?"
No. Could you say no? I'm good.
I'd be like, I'm late. You know, when I first got there, I was like, yeah, and then be like, just laying hands.
No, I gotta go. Do it without me here.
Bless this student, this freshman, as she goes upon her journey at university, and please keep her away from temptation, Lord. And within those school rules, it was like, don't have sex, don't get pregnant, don't be gay. It's fucking insane. Like there was a time
college.
It wasn't a good place to start fucking. When I started fucking, people were real mad about it. And they were mad because I was fucking like the athletes, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck the tallest, most buff guys here. What the fuck? What do you want me to fuck you? Yeah, are you fucking kidding? And that's what a lot of them. They wanted you to fuck them. They would have been happy if you fucking them. I was like, no, I'm gonna fuck the guy that's 6'9" and works out every day.
This is the only time in my life I'm gonna have access to these dudes. I'm never gonna cross paths with them.
Like, what are you talking about? Of course I'm gonna fuck the handsome giant. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck those abs. What are you talking about?
So while you were there, you decided you wanted to do a pageant.
Yeah. So I think it was a bid for like a bid for my father's love in a way, because it was for a fraternity. And my dad also like belonged to this fraternity when he was in college, and
transparent.
Yes, you do know what I mean. And like the pageant was called Miss Black and Gold. It was like a scholarship pageant, and it was me and some girls I didn't like and some girls I did like, and we learned like some poise shit, which is like mad.
teach you how to like walk with books on your head and stuff?
I think we might have done a book on heads. We might have
Classic.
done a book on
A classic.
heads. Yeah.
I'm just going through montages in my head.
It's definitely like you have to have your stance, and then they ask you like questions, where you're like world peace or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's not a swimsuit thing in that one, but when you go to the next level, there is a swimsuit thing.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it was all like one pieces and stuff. Very weird, very random.
And then you're just wearing the swimsuit. You're posing in the swimsuit.
Yeah.
I like how they're like, we'll do the swimsuit thing, but we'll still kind of slut shame the girls.
Not at Baylor University. And then you perform you do like a performance.
What did you do?
I performed the song from, I think it's like from the Flower Drum song, Miss Saigon, some shit like that. I don't know. It's from some.
What's the song?
I Enjoy Being a Girl. I think it's from the
Flower Drum song.
Yeah. And yeah,
that's a good one.
I
Oh my
enjoy
God.
being a girl.
Stop it!
Great
In front of a lot of
time.
frat boys.
A great time, and an audience of my peers, and
Dreams
my
come true.
parents came, and they were like, "We love this," and my friends from the theater department came, and they were like, "Wow, what's going on?" Yeah, and it was great. It was great, so fun.
Okay, Kemah, I don't think I'm overstepping when I say you've done a little bit of a 180.
I've lived a life.
So
I've lived a
where
life.
did the switch and change happen? And how did your parents and people around you react to it? Like, when did you realize that maybe this isn't for me?
Well, I think while I was there, especially as it like pertained to like when I was a teen and stuff, I was really like active at my church. But I realized it was more of like a social thing, and they kept giving us free pizza.
That's how they get you.
They get you on the pizza.
They do it's the Christian rock and the pizza. And I was a part of like my church dance team and stuff, so it was really social. And then I went to this university where there were a bunch of like horrible people that were supposed to, be like loving and positive and like trying to be like bright lights in this world or some shit like that. And I was like, you guys fucking suck. And it was also like quite conservative as well. And I was like, boo. And I remember the first, was it the first girl I kissed? Couldn't have been. A girl I kissed. I was on spring break. Oh, I fucking love spring break. We went down the south. I got so fucked up on spring break. Like, this is bad, but also statute of limitations probably gone. I got so
Another bumper sticker.
statute of limitations probably gone. South Padre is very close to Mexico. I got so fucked up one night. I was partying far away from my hotel. I had a Mustang for a very short period of time. I had a red Mustang.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
I was just
You're
living.
the coolest girl in school.
I was living my life. And I went to a party and I was headed home. And I don't know if I was like blacked out or tired, but I woke up at the Mexican border.
What?
What?
What in the Marissa from the OC?
I was like driving.
How long have you been out for?
I don't know, but I woke up and this lady was like, "You want to go to Mexico?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am." And she was like, "It's okay. You could turn around." And you could tell like this happened probably quite a bit. And then I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "You are too tired to be driving right now. Like, how did you almost drive to Mexico?" It's fucking insane. So fun. Oh, we used to do the wildest things. Like, I remember I had sex outside at a toga party in the rain.
Yeah.
Like, I had such a great time.
I love college.
So it was like while I was in college.
Kemah, you've lived a fantasy, like a college
it's been
fantasy.
So nice. At first I was like, this sucks. And then I started like living by my own rules. And I think that's kind of where I like took the turn. And we noticed, me and my friends were like, if you fuck in this town, if you fuck at this school, people are going to talk about it. They're going to be assholes about it. So we started driving out of town to party. Yeah.
And
All the way to
sometimes
Mexico.
as far as Mexico.
I just started doing my own thing. And also I started doing like improv, which is how all this has happened. Because I was studying theater, and one of my professors, he was quite a passive-aggressive man that decided to be direct on this day. And he was like, "Kemah, you're making a lot of comments in my class." He was like, "You're talking a bit too much for my comfort, but your comments are pretty funny." He was like, I think you should audition for the improv team.
Oh my gosh.
And I'd never like
saw you.
seen any of their shows or anything, but I was late to the audition, classic, because I think the day before was MLK Day, and I had to party for the King Jr. They had a party for the King Jr.
Right on.
So I showed up so late that instead of giving me like the last number, they gave me the number pi. They gave me the symbol pi as my number to audition with, and pi made it to the last round. Yeah.
And here she is.
Yeah, pie all the way
Still
to the top.
going.
I
Pie
love
all the
that
way
your
to the
comedy
top.
origin story is I'm offended, but I
you
do
should-
respect the
yeah,
writing.
yeah.
I do respect the writing.
He was like, you should pivot. He was like, pivot. Yeah, and that's kind of
And here we are.
the slippery slope, honestly. Yeah.
How long did you do improv in college for?
I think when did that? I don't know if it was my first year. I think so. It was like auditions were like January of 2012. So I did it in college. Then some summers I would go to Houston and like study. And then when I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I moved to LA, which is where my Nana was. So I was able to stay at her house for free.
Yes.
And I went to UCB and did a bit of that. Because when I was graduating, I was dating this boy. And I could tell that he wanted to like impregnate me and hijack my life. And I was like, no. So I took the $800 that I had that was going to be the deposit on our apartment in Austin. And I went to LA, supposedly just for the course. I was like, I'm going to come back. And then I never did.
He's still waiting in that flat in Austin.
I'm like, sorry,
You're the
sir.
coolest person
I'm
I've
so
ever
sorry.
You're going to live your life.
You're so interesting.
met. We have to wrap up, but will you come back and do a part 2 sometime?
Yeah, definitely. And I can tell you about the time that I let my drug dealer move into the second bedroom in my apartment.
We must have you back. Please come back. I'm
To
not
be
even kidding.
continued.
TBC.
Thank you so much. This
Bye.
podcast has been produced by Andrew White in the Comedy Kerfuffle studio. The theme tune was composed by Ronan Shields. This has
Wow.
been Kemah Bob. Kemah, what do you have to plug?
I'm doing a show at the Fringe, which is crazy. Why am I doing that to myself? We're doing work in progresses, which it would be great if people come and help me figure out if the stories are too weird. Yeah, that's about it. I'm just living, laughing, loving, and I hope you are too.